as a Zen Buddhist practice, if I can say a word about what that is, first of all, it's something that's quite natural. We're not looking for some special, extraordinary mind state, some kind of ecstasy. As you know, Zen is quite well known for speaking of the ordinary mind and things like this. It's not just rhetoric, it's not just words. It's very important that the practice be really grounded, for example, embodied, not just something that we think about in our head while we sit in meditation and then we go off and do something. The practice naturally comes to be the way we are, not just something that we do. So when we really give ourselves to the practice, when we get up, the practice doesn't end. It just continues in the standing, in the walking, in doing what needs to be done. And when nothing needs to be done, enjoy ourselves. Then when we come back to the cushion and sit down, we don't begin meditation. We simply continue it again in the seated posture. It's very important if we want to mature in this practice that it becomes constant, continuous, and that also it becomes complete in the sense that everything comes to be included. Of course, the focus is meditating on the cushion, but it can't begin and end there. It does have to become something that we are. And then finally, it can be spontaneously forgotten. In Zen Buddhist practice, one way of describing it is a kind of self-inquiry, looking into the nature of ourselves. In the depths, that nature, again, comes to include everything, but we have to go through ourselves. I don't go through you, and you don't go through me. Each one of us has our own mind and our own body. That's all that we need. But to go through in practice, what is the real nature of this mind and body? Not just to think about it or to apply doctrines and philosophies, but actually to come to know it in our bones. Not a matter of just intellectual knowledge, but to know it from inside, in our bones. To put it more radically, the self that is seeking some enlightenment or something, that self itself becomes undone, so to speak. In a word, that's what awakening is. Huh? It's not having some experience, but how to say it, the very need to have some kind of an experience is dissolved. Not having some kind of transcendent experience that maybe after a while you lose and you want to go back to. This is just a symptom of a profound disease, isn't it? There are physical addictions, there are also mental addictions, including sometimes meditation. So again, we're not seeking after some kind of ecstatic state. On the contrary, to really see into the nature of what is here right under our feet, always. If you really can see that, that's enough. You don't go seeking again. Then you get up and you do what needs to be done. So I would urge you, if you're interested in continuing this practice, to see how naturally it comes to be constant, continuous, the way that we are, not just something that we do sometimes, but also that it naturally becomes complete. I wouldn't say perfect, it doesn't need to be perfect, but to be complete in the sense that nothing is left out. It comes to include everything. The essential point in Zen Buddhist practice is for the seeking self itself come to an end. Are you stuck somewhere in the practice? Are you stuck in transcendent states? Are you stuck to yourself, sitting still? Are you stuck to dreams and delusions? When we really see through, there's nothing that we need to stick to. Nothing that we need to stick to. One way to put it is, letting go of yourself. What if there was no self you needed to come back to? For the ego self, stuck to itself, it can sound frightening or threatening. Oh no, I'll lose me. No. What if you didn't need to come back to some form, some frame, some shell that you hide behind? What if there is no such thing? I challenge you to see, do you really need to return to some kind of self? Or is that perhaps what keeps us locked inside ourselves? I've spoken enough, Cyrus. If I may, I'd like to open it up for the others. Thank you all for listening so intently.
Thank you.